So it's just hopefully a short video. I wanted to put a different shifter ball on my car and I didn't feel like paying all the money for the expensive ones. So I found out that the screw that holds in the stock shifter knob on the Broncos is M5 by 0.8 thread. And I found these on Amazon for $6.99 plus tax. Pack of 6 of them. It's a stud that has M5 by 0.8 on one side and M10 by 0.125. There's actually 3 sizes. There's M10 by 1.25. I believe it's M10 by 1.5 and then M12 by 1.5. Because most of the shifters, like on Amazon and stuff, they use at least M10 by 1.25. So I buy this stud. Now, because we have this to shift into neutral or not reverse or crawl gear, you need to either keep the stock shifter knob on or make some kind of spacer because there's a spring. I should have left this off. Let me take this off and show you. And to get the stock shifter knob off, you need an M3 or 3mm hex key. I just have this set that I bought years ago off Amazon. But when the knob comes off, it just slides up. And see, there's that spring that allows that to pull up. And that has a gate, I guess you would call it, to keep it from going into neutral or the crawl gear, which I love because I drove some of the Toyotas and the Jeeps, and they don't have that. And especially on the Toyotas, I was going to get a 2025 Toyota TRD off-road. It's just a little too easy to go into reverse instead of first. And I'm sure you'd get used to it, but I'm also sure that most people would mess it up at least once. So you can either need to make a spacer, or I'm just going to use the stock shifter knob. It only goes on one way. So see how I'm turning, doesn't go on. And then it will go on. It's got this little relief cut there. So you need that or some kind of spacer, which I assume is part of why those kits cost so much. I personally don't care. And then you put in your stud from Amazon. There was $6.99 for 6 of them. Screw it down. I'm not going to screw it down tight. I'll probably put Loctite on it once am sure that I like how it is. But there's no hex head insert in the top like you would normally see. So you can only put it in hand tight because you don't want to mess up the threads using like a vice grip or something. But then you're going to take your adapter to go to M10 by 1.25. And almost all of the balls on Amazon and stuff, they've come with these 3 adapters. Just make sure the sizes. And then you're going to take your adapter and screw it on there. And I'm assuming this is going to work. Whoops. Wrong way. I'm actually doing this as I film it. Flip that around. And I always do counterclockwise until I hear it click, so you don't cross thread anything. And then you want to screw it down all the way so it's the shift knobs, so everything's tight. And then I'm going to take my Dragon Ball. Again, start going counterclockwise until it clicks. Make sure I don't cross thread anything. Come on. There we go. And then screw it down. And, later I'll probably either machine or find a spacer that's the right size. But, for right now, I actually wanted this a little bit taller anyways. But even if you do a spacer, you might be able to make it a little shorter, but it's going to stick up that high. But now I have my Dragon Ball shifter, and I can swap it to any knob that uses an M10 by 1.25, and I could even add spacers if I need it to go up bigger. And now I can put whatever shifter knob I want on there. And if you don't like the stock knob being on there, again, you're just going to have to, and I don't have my caliper here, but we could take all this off. Whoop. Which is why I haven't Loctited it and tightened it down a lot. and measure. Just take this stuff out and we can measure what kind of spacer we need. But pretty much for this thing to function properly with the gate, you're going to need some kind of spacer that's going to hold this spring, or if you can get another spring that'll work, and it'll have to slide down over that. And then, let's see, it's going to have to go in a little ways. It's going to have to basically be a spacer like that, and push that down so it's not loosey-goosey, and it actually works. Now, if you don't care about this, I assume you could just take it off, and oh, that's attached to the yeah, this part is attached to this leather here, but you could probably take this off too and swap it all out, and then just not have this gate here. But I love it, and I personally don't really care that this is here. I didn't mind the ball, but I wanted something cooler too, so I'm just gonna leave it on there for now. And then if I figure out a spacer, I'll try to find one that I don't have to machine, that just comes stock, and I'll add another video where I got that. And then it'll probably be, instead of this, it'll just be like a metal aluminum spacer that sits here, and then you'll have whatever shift knob you want on top of that. But unless you want to get rid of this and the leather shifter boot and everything, you know, yeah.